So this video, or this comment rather, is in response to a video I did about how I was completely ostracized, embarrassed, and made an example out of my senior year in high school by this giant Christian church, and pretty much ostracized me from everyone in my entire community, resulting in a whole range of issues down the line. So the question is, why, after going through something like that, would I go on later in my late 20s and early 30s to study theology again and get into it really deeply again, despite the abuse? First, I just want to say that I was indoctrinated, literally. I was raised a Christian from the time I was born until the time I started deconstructing just a couple of years ago. And so I literally believed that even though in this scenario I was in a way a victim, I literally believed that I deserved the outcomes that I was receiving because all of my Christian peers, my Christian authority figures, my Christian parents were telling me that this was the appropriate punishment for the crimes that I had committed. So I didn't see anything wrong with it at the time, although I did feel the pain of the abuse. I didn't know it was abuse at the time. Secondly, I fell into the trap that almost every Christian falls into at some point or another, and you still hear Christians saying this all the time on the internet. They say, oh, well, don't blame God for the stuff that the church did. The church is the problem, not the text. You see, I thought the text itself, the text of the Bible, was truly God-inspired and powerful and meaningful and life-changing and all this stuff, but that the power so-called of the Bible had essentially fallen into the wrong hands on some occasions. And so you see people mishandling the scriptures and misapplying the scriptures, and as a result hurting people. So even where I realized that I was being mistreated by Christians at times, I thought, well, that's not the Bible's fault, that's not God's fault, that's a problem of like hypocrisy in the church and just general problems that the church experiences to this day. And again, Christians will still do that. But what took me years to realize by studying the theology and the doctrines myself from so many different denominational perspectives and digging into the actual literature in the Greek, Latin, Hebrew, and digging in as deeply as I can, what took me a long time to realize was that the Bible itself was the source of the heart problems in the church. The church wasn't tainting the Bible taints the church. But long story short, yeah, it's just indoctrination, man. I'm really surprised and fortunate that I even was able to come out of it at all, to be honest. Thanks for the question.